Well, guys, it's a sad day in sim racing. F's in the chat. I give a salute. The CSL Elite McLaren GT3 V2 wheel, based on the real life McLaren car of a car that stopped racing years ago, actually, has they announced they're going to discontinue it from Fanatec, and this is a wheel that has been on the market for, I believe, almost 10 years now, if not 10 years, and really was like, as you've probably seen reviews and everything like that, was a significant jump for a lot of people. Like for me personally, I went from a Thrustmaster T180 that I bought on Facebook Marketplace, and then I got the Fanatec GT DD Pro, which was a huge jump. And if you know, it came with this wheel right here, which is just like the GT. So it still kind of felt a little toyish. Like it was a good wheel. It's a really solid like starter wheel for what came on the kit, but still feels, it's got it. I'm gonna get the camera here. It still looks a little toyish, don't you think? A little bit. So and it's a round wheel. So for a lot of people like myself, that jump to that McLaren wheel felt like our first like really nice piece of kit, like really premium piece of kit. Obviously going to direct drive, and I guess I say this, everything in sim racing is always kind of relative to what your goals are, what your budget is, things like that. But for a lot of people, that wheel signified like having that kind of GT style wheel that was based on a real car that, with the quick release on the back and everything. Like it was a significant jump was an amazingly affordable price. And that wheel had all the buttons and knobs. It was, for a lot of us, it was the first time having kind of all of those different kinds of switches and all the dials and everything that you could tune to everything, especially for those of us that were on console for the longest time. So almost all of my time using it was on console. Unfortunately, like after I jumped to iRacing and lost my job, I was only doing oval racing. I ended up selling it, so I don't have it right now, unfortunately, anymore. And I upgraded to what a lot of people like myself have done, kind of the next stage up. And if you're thinking about, you're looking at that wheel and now you're thinking about second guessing it, I can't recommend enough the GT Neo. Kind of similar price range. It may be a little bit more. This is, to get it with a Fanatec base, you do need a few extra pieces. Luckily, there is a video on my channel, and it's one of my most watched videos that kind of goes through the process of how to make this work on a Fanatec base. But this is probably the next jump after that. If you're we're thinking about getting that McLaren wheel, and now you're kind of burned by the announcement. But I really just wanted to make a video and rave about that wheel because it was, for me, it was like a significant moment. I'll put in some video here of kind of me using it back in the old GT days, the Gran Turismo days. But let's go to this is the official announcement from Fanatec. Today we're marking the end of one chapter that's brought joy to sim racers around the world. That is true. CSL Elite steering wheel is officially discontinued. They know it means a lot to the community, it meant a lot too for many sim racers, and McLaren was a milestone in their journey. Yep, pretty much what I was saying. So here's some news. Just my warranty's still valid. Yep, warranty's still valid. They have a few different options if you're looking to replace it. I gotta be honest with you though, none of these wheels I think hit that sweet spot like that wheel did. I don't really like a lot of the formula wheels that are available from Fanatec. I guess maybe the closest one I would say is probably this one right here. That's probably it, and even that requires the podium hub and everything like that, which I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same. It doesn't hit the same as having that like licensed direct copy of an actual wheel. Of course, Fanatec also has the new Porsche V2 wheel and the Bentley wheel, but both of those are kind of in another price range. And also that Porsche wheel is ridiculously wide, so that the McLaren wheel at that 300 mark is kind of like default GT. I believe the Porsche wheel is like 320, so it's a little bit wider, so not quite in the same wheelhouse. But yeah, man, and they say here one of the reasons that they cited of doing it is I guess they want to focus more on new products, and I would really hope if they're going to discontinue something that was as big of a winner for them as that is, that they've got something that they're going to announce relatively soon that's going to immediately slot into that price range. Because again, as we mentioned, none of the stuff they really have. So here's the Sparco GT wheel. Again, really similar in kind of the design of the other one. But I mean, maybe you don't want the hub, the whole hub thing, and all these, and it just looks kind of like tacked on. It just lacks that kind of premium feel. Again, they got the Porsche wheel, which is really nice, and $349 isn't a terrible price range for what you get with like a lot of the knobs and switches and premium feeling. And I guess if you are using this for console, maybe you're not as dialed in on needing like a specific 300 size wheel. But again, I don't think that necessarily hits the sweet spot. I don't really care much for this wheel, and I think this is kind of more of a formula style than a GT style. I don't think it's as good with GT. It's a little bit smaller on the smaller end. And then in the formula, this is just the V2.5. This seems to be where they're funneling people the most right now. But again, that's $399. And I don't think it quite hits the, again, it's a formula style, not a GT style. So yeah, I mean, I don't think they really have anything that even comes close to that. So again, I would have to imagine if they're even entertaining this, that they're doing it for a reason of what they've got coming. And that announcement better come soon, because there's probably gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be upset. But you know, I love that wheel. That was a great wheel. One of my favorite wheels. I mean, I like where I'm at now with the GT Neo is also a fantastic wheel, but for being kind of like at that phase of when I really started getting better in Gran Turismo and eventually getting like A+ rating, and then making the jump to iRacing, that wheel kind of fits right into when like I really started taking sim racing a little bit more serious than like just my, you know, ad hoc setup. And of course now I look at it, I've got triples that I just put up. If you want to go check out my video of setting up my triples, I've got, you know, nice wheels and a brand new PC I just built. So maybe that was the that was the entry level to really kind of get me stuck in this hobby. But there's a lot of people out there. Let me know in the comments if you also had that wheel, if you loved it as much as I did. It's a sad day for the sim racing community, as that signified a significant moment. I don't know what it'll be support wise, how much longer you'll still be able to use them. I don't know if the secondary market is going to get flooded with them for pretty cheap prices. So maybe if you're someone on console and you don't really need something that you're going to be like constantly updating, or you know, if you're just playing like on Gran Turismo or F1 25 on console, maybe you can get one for the cheap on Facebook Marketplace and still make it work for a while. They just won't continue to do updates for it, but it'll still be recognized. I guess that's what that means. Maybe that's a good question to ask is, I wish they would have, like, when they say discontinued, does that just mean they're not going to continue to do updates for it, or will like the software still recognize it? I don't know. If you've got one, maybe let me know in the comments if it still works for you. But I imagine the secondary market's going to get flooded with these at a pretty even cheaper price. So if you're looking to even do like a small upgrade and you're not too deep into it yet, or maybe you're on console, it might be worth checking it out. But again, thank you guys for tuning in, hearing my thoughts. A little bit of a different video, but being a wheel that I felt was really important to me as kind of one that signified, you know, my jump into the field. I thought I'd come on and give my thoughts and maybe update some of you guys that may not even be aware that this is going to be happening. But to the McLaren wheel, thank you for your service. You're an amazing wheel. You'll go down in sim racing lore forever. And thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time.